Hello there and welcome to the Bicycle Diaries and welcome to my first vlog of 2021. On the 1st of January I was looking at Strava and I noticed that it had reset all of my annual totals back down to zero again. Now my first reaction was to feel a little bit empty. After all, it had reset all of the hard work that I'd done on the bike over 2020 back down to zero. But the more I thought about it, the more I saw it as a bit of a blank canvas and a fantastic opportunity to look forward and think about all of the fantastic cycling opportunities that 2021 has to offer. Unfortunately, we're not actually getting off to the best of starts at the moment because we have a couple of things going on here in the UK that's making life a little bit challenging, let's say. First of all, there's Brexit. Now, on the 1st of January 2021, the UK left the European Union, and that's obviously going to make life, well, let's just say different and leave it at that. And then of course there's the COVID situation. Now, as I speak today on the 5th of January, yesterday our Prime Minister Boris Johnson announced that the UK will be going into its third national lockdown. Now, like the two previous lockdowns, we are still able to go out and exercise, although for this particular one we are limited to one exercise session a day, but we can go out and exercise with one person that we don't live with if we so choose. Now, unlike the two previous lockdowns before it, there's some additional wording which says that that exercise session must take place within our local area. And for the purposes of definition, that means within our village, our town, or the part of the city in which we live. So I personally will be following the rules. So although my rides will be sort of around the 50 kilometre mark, I won't be travelling more than about 10 kilometres away from where I live. Normally for this time of year, I'd be looking forward to all of the fantastic cycling events that I have planned for the next coming months. And I may even have a couple of flights booked. So for instance, down to Mallorca or possibly even Italy or France to go down and do a week's cycling. But unfortunately, travel at the moment isn't looking possible, at least for the next 3 or 4 months. So all of my cycling events are going to have to be focused here in the UK, but even those are subject to some kind of disruption. So for instance, the first big event that I would normally do in the year is the Isle of Wight Randonnée, and I'd be signing up for that round about now, but they cancelled that back in November. That said though, there are still cycling events that I can look forward to, although by definition it probably means that I'll have to arrange them myself. So for instance, instead of riding the official Isle of Wight Randonnée, I can just go down to the Isle of Wight and ride around independently. I'd also like to take this opportunity to announce that I'd like to start racing again. Now, back in the day, I used to do time trials on the various local courses that were organised by the local cycling clubs, and that's precisely the sort of racing that I'd like to get into again in the summer. Now, obviously, a lot of things have to happen between now and me doing my first ever race. And of course, again, the COVID situation needs to be at least a little bit resolved. Secondly, I need to be a bit fitter. And thirdly, I also need to join some sort of club that's affiliated to the British Time Trialling League. Back in the day when I did race, I didn't exactly set the results board alight. In fact, I was kind of back down towards the rear end of the field. But that didn't really matter to me because I really enjoyed the racing. It was an opportunity for me to kind of put myself to the test, and it gave me a focus for all of the training that I was doing in the year running up to that.
26.
I'm under no illusions. I know that my results are going to be fairly similar, if not somewhat worse than I was when I was racing a little while ago. But again, it's not about where I am, it's about enjoying the ride. Ride-wise, I didn't do a great deal last week. On Tuesday, I did the regular Jolly Good Velo meetup on Zwift, and that was all great fun. And then on Thursday, I met up with my cycling chum Kathy, and we did the final ride of 2020 on New Year's Eve. The plan for that particular ride was to go out and do 70 kilometres, but because it was so cold, I cut it short. And by the time I got home, I'd done about 50 kilometres, and even then I was still pretty tired. If you'd like to see this ride in a bit more detail, I've already made a ride vlog, and I'll leave a link to that at the end. Because I've found the last 3 or 4 rides that I've done recently quite hard, and because they've left me feeling quite tired, I've decided to give myself a week or so off the bike. And this is obviously so that I've got a bit of an opportunity to let my legs recover fully and to build up a little bit of energy before I start trying to build up my numbers for 2021 again. When I do get back on the bike in a couple of days' time, the plan at the moment is, whenever possible, to go out and do at least 50 kilometres when riding on the road. The only time I'll do less than that is if I'm running out of time. When I'm doing an indoor turbo training session, because I now know my FTP, the plan there is to ride as much as possible within my sweet spot. So for me, that's going to be between 214 and 248 watts. Now my thinking here is that when I'm doing a turbo session, I'm trying to build up my strength and increase my FTP. And when I'm actually out on the road, I'm trying to build up my endurance. And again, the slightly further plan is that I would like to be able to ride 100 kilometers as soon as possible. So there we go, that's my plans, at least for the next few weeks or so. Best of luck with all of your plans, and hopefully the COVID situation here in the UK isn't having too much impact on your cycling. Stay safe everyone, and thanks for watching.